So now we move to Zishan. I know everyone talks about AI and there is a confusion between process automation and AI and everything, but we are not here to attack AI. We are here to help each other to take the maximum use of AI. So we are super excited to have you, Zishan. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Shireen, and it's a pleasure to have a conversation with the group of peoples we have today. And I completely agree from the perspectives which Thomas shares about the automation and resilience. Those are the cornerstones. Just before starting, everybody can see my screen, right? Yeah.
Yes, your
Okay.
screen is clear.
So we I will not gonna take too much time. We will deep dive into a very specific area of the the discussion which has been going around every day is about the AI in supply chain. But before that, I think it's really important. I will give a very short brief overview. I'm been into the supply chain for the past 20 years. We have been implemented different supply chain systems for medium-sized to large corporations, mainly in Saudi Arabia, UAE, Singapore, Europe, and in different parts of the world. And from the past 15 years, I'm been very closely integrated into the supply chain education ecosystem and been connected with all the education providers from Australia till Brazil. In Not everybody knows me today about like from different parts of the world, but we are very closely integrated. But I mainly myself has been working on a with the decision makers level, either it's in an education sector or either if it's with the corporations. So that's why I'm not being seen much publicly as well. So I came from my technical background is I'm a geologist by my education, and I did my MBA 20 years ago. And by since then, been working in the supply chain in various aspects, from technology implementations to setting up the procurement setups for the large corporations as well. And the topic for today's discussion is about the AI in supply chain. So everybody's been talking about in AI. So what we're going to talk about today is AI is a support tool, not the decision maker within the supply chain. And what do we mean by that? So I'm going to put some perspective for everybody to think of it today. So the purpose of this presentation is to give you a different way of looking at things, not just what is in front of us and where everybody's been following into it. So if we look back into like 100 years ago or 1000 years ago, we don't have the real time data, we don't have an AI, we even don't have the telephones by that time. And so the supply chains are used to run based on the trust. And so trust is the basic currency for the supply chain since wherever we have been into the supply chain. Now, the biggest question which is in front of everyone is how the outlook would be look like in the next 3 years, next 10 years, and next 30 years. Based on our research and based on our interaction with all the top like associations around the world, we come to the conclusion that there are three skills which will remain be valid in the next 30 years. The first is negotiation. AI cannot replace the negotiation fully. Second, relationship management. AI can in the at least in the foreseeable future, AI will not be able to help you to build relationships or to manage those relationships. And the third thing is the decision making. So whatever we are doing within the supply chain or within our daily staffs, decision making is the key essential aspect of it. And so what AI has been doing, AI is actually automating the coordination and the execution part of it. AI is not being automating the decision making part of the supply chain. So let me give you some context or some examples to get the better visibility of what we are claiming it to be. So the first question is, can AI tells you the right salary for your job? Yes. AI can use the data, and AI can use the market analytics and can tells you perfectly. But the next question is, can AI know the right moment to push when sitting in an interview or negotiating a salary with your bosses? They really needs to know where to stop and what to negotiate. So AI cannot do that. The next thing is, can AI predict relationship troubles? We are all aware of it. We in our lives we saw this thing. So can AI predict this based on the data? Yes, there are applications which are helping it. There are analytics which are helping it. But again, can AI choose to trust again after a betrayal? AI cannot tell you this. or AI cannot at least make a final decision for you for this. Third thing, we said it like, can AI diagnose diseases better than doctor? Yes, AI can do that. But the next question is, can AI hold a scalpel and take a responsibility if a patient die? Or can they make on-spot decisions about the priority of saving the life of the patient or having any other priority? And the answer for this is no. AI is still not maturing on that level. So this has still been a discussion. And if we now take these three things and replace them with our supply chain things, let's say let's replace the patients with the shipments, salary with the contracts, relationship with the supplier relationships. So we're going to see the same barriers every time, always. So what's the reality? What's the supply chain reality? If you wanted to simplify the context which we just said it, so yes, AI can help us in spotting the suppliers from multi-suppliers, tier one, tier two. AI can filter at them, but AI cannot decide which suppliers to trust. Or is this a supplier which helps you in your bad moments when you are short of the deliveries and your production should halt in? So you always needs to find the trade-offs. Sometimes it's ethical trade-offs, sometimes it's relationship trade-offs. So that job will remain with the humans. And for example, AI can, like, so if you have 20 distribution centers, so yes, of course, AI can help you to find the best stock should be in the best place. But AI cannot go into that visibility of a data which any specific distribution center or a specific group of a peoples in that specific region, they have a different buying pattern of it. So yes, AI can do specific things, and humans still have to do the decision making part of the job. So what we are talking about these days? I'm not going to discuss the recent supply chain simulation which we launched, which is based on the decision making itself. So that is not the part of the discussions today. But this is everything is being connected. So this is what we say, that AI tells you what best. It cannot tells you what worth more than that. And this is a key question which we need to constantly answer on a daily basis within our supply chain. Now the question comes, and maybe somebody in this room can think about like what you are talking about, like, AI is managing AI. Yes, AI is managing AI. And some peoples are having in a myth that there is no human involvement at all. No, it's not true. There is somebody human on the back end who's been writing a codes, who's defining a scenario that if AI going to conflict with AI, this is the parameters which you need to put into consideration before you proposing it. Even today or even 2 years ago, if you ask anything to an AI never give you an answers with certainty. AI said, in my opinion, in with it's always give you a perspective, and humans on the other hand are the ones who really needs to make the call. So again, the question is the same question: can we automate the decision making? The straightforward answer for this is no, we cannot automate the decision making. There is some aspects of the decision making that remain fundamentally human. So let's take an example. Where is the real problem? Within the companies, the teams are not aligned with with your opinions. They conflict with each other. Reason is decision making. Your perspectives are not aligned with your boss. Your boss expectation, your boss keep targets are not aligned with your like. Some employees say that we come from a different organization, we used to do such way things. In my opinion, this is the right way for things. And sometimes your bosses, you and your teams, all of their perspectives doesn't match with the company's KPIs or the company's board of director perspective. So the conflicting thing is, the root cause is, for every problem is decision making. So if we somehow using an AI as a supporting tool, where we use it AI into, so in automation, so Thomas talked about the automation part of it, resilience part of it. So yes, AI going to help you 90% of it, 95% of it, but there is a human factor which is being needed to make a final call for the decision. So in simple words, the takeaway from this discussions for now is, AI answers what's best and you answers what's right. This question AI can never take from you, not in the foreseeable future. So whatever we are doing as of now in within our supply chains, uh, within our teams, with our suppliers, we need to educate everyone that they need to learn the dynamics of the decision making. They need to learn the trade-offs, how to make a trade-offs, because before an AI we are competing with humans only. Now we are competing with AI. So AI, we at the same time we are competing with AI in terms of making the best decisions for the company, and we are competing with our peers as well. So in short, this is the perspective that you put into perspective, and Shireen, just to add it up over here to give you a context, everybody, that we recently launched a supply chain simulation, which is called Decisions to Impact. And this is what we are trying to teach everyone globally as well, that learn the decision making for your company, for your teams, for everyone, and use AI as an helping tool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zishan. And what I like here is that everyone is learning from you. And guys, I had to travel to US and had to travel to Europe to learn from ACM and from everyone. But now we have the people who are sharing the knowledge and giving it to us. So thank you for that. Thank you, Zishan. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Thomas. And thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Dr. Osama. Thank you, everyone. And we need to think in a different way from demand planning perspective. And how can our supply chain be agile? Because we always hear about agile. I recall in 2008, we had the supply chain conference in Munich, in Germany. It was organized by Supply Chain Council at that time, and Supply Chain Council at that time, before it becomes ACM. And we had a speaker from one of the biggest universities, Dr. Howley. He was the writer of the concept of triple A supply chain. At that time, he talked about how to have agile supply chain, alignment in your supply chain, and adaptability, triple A. And that was a huge thing at that time. So that was a long time ago. And agility is important. We talk about it all the time. And he defined agility as ability to sense and respond. Sense and respond. Sense and respond.